Won so convincingly at Middlesbrough last Monday. And watching on today, a striker who played for both sides and the man whose goal decided the last quarter-final between these clubs, Dave Hickson, who scored the winner for Everton at Villa Park. That was back in 1953. And Benito Carbone trusting again in his painted blue boots. Everton 1 defeat in 12, Aston Villa 1 loss in 14. Everton with an unfamiliar lineup in terms of their shape, and Aston Villa coming off the back of 2 successive 4-0 victories. Enough to give Everton manager Walter Smith some food for thought today. Well in by Goff. Campbell, back heel for Collins. Barmby's there as a runner, but Collins opted for the shot. Now Merson as Villa seek to break. Unsworth, oh, mistake by Unsworth. And here's Joachim. It's a difficult angle. Not quite an impossible one, as Eidur Gudjonsson showed in yesterday's quarter-final for Bolton Wanderers. Fair to say that the odds were always against Julian Joachim scoring from that. Merson, drawn the corner, forcing Collins to concede. And spectators behind that Gladys Street End goal, rising as one to get a better view of this set piece, for which Ehiog and Southgate are both forward. Merson with it, back from Carbone, just improving the angle. Ehiog, and the diving header from Steve Stone. Mura crestfallen, and Steve Stone has scored his first ever goal in the FA Cup. The header back across by Ehiog, and the mix-up on the line. Mura and the defender leaving it for one another. It was Don Hutchison who was next to the Norwegian goalkeeper. Mura just seemed surprised by the bounce, and Stone has put Villa in front. Thomas Mura should certainly have saved it, once he was left red-faced. Campbell, Moore. More awkward. And Delaney recovered well, but has gone down injured on the edge of the penalty area, and Hugo Ehiog is very concerned about the condition of his teammate Mark Delaney. It was an awkward collision as they tried to stop Kevin Campbell nipping in. Delaney's initial clearance was blocked by Pembridge, and the damage was inflicted by Ehiog, colliding with Delaney. Hendry and Watson and Ian Taylor going through their paces. Play being restarted on halfway with a drop ball. Campbell. Oh, Barry has lost it to Moore, who's tried to chip the keeper and has succeeded. The linesman on the far side has his flag raised, and the goal is given. And the little American, Joe Max Moore, scores for the 4th game in a row. One or two people raised an eyebrow when Joe Max Moore arrived from the New England Revolution, but clearly the ball was over the line. It was a desperate attempt to keep it out by Steve Stone, who's just scored at the other end. But it wasn't enough. It was a deft touch that came up off the goalkeeper. Stone defeated right on the line, and Joe Maxmoore has made another mark on this season's FA Cup. Having scored in the previous round the victory over Preston North End, he's now made it 5 goals in his last 6 games. Stone involved at both ends, unable to stop the equalising goal. Delaney. Merson. Joachim. Merson's found some space. Joachim's found him. And there's Stone. Well, it would be asking too much, would it not, for a player who's been in the game for 10 years or more, having scored his first ever FA Cup goal, to add another so quickly. Smith, 13 trophies in 7 years at Rangers. This is his 2nd season with Everton. Still seeking his first English trophy. Pembridge. Moore. Caught a little late by Ehiog. Steve Stone was in at the tackle as well. And Everton in stoppage time have perhaps a final opportunity of the half, and Goff is waving furiously for it, and he's got it. Came off right before being hooked away by Ehiog. Joachim. Through for Merson. Boateng gaining ground outside him. Merson still going, and it's opening up, and the parry for Carbone! He'll take the credit of being the goal scorer, but all the praise should be heaped on the man who, yesterday on Football Focus, told the world that he's retiring from international football. Paul Merson, with the most incisive of runs, leaving defenders in his wake. Mura might have done better. Carbone couldn't miss. The Italian's 5th FA Cup goal of the season. Mura, having to stretch a long way, couldn't hold it. And Benito Carbone, with just about the last kick of the half, has restored Aston Villa's lead. An advantage given to them earlier in the game by Steve Stone. It didn't last long, only 4 minutes before Joe Maxmoore cancelled it out. Carbone has had the last say in this half, and this quarter-final is still intriguingly poised, but Aston Villa have a slender advantage. Villa get us underway in the second half, having made a change. Paul Merson, who was instrumental in the second goal, hasn't reappeared, and Ian Taylor is on in his place. Well, with an early tackle on Joachim, Unsworth stretching, and Steve Stone. No suggestion at this moment as to what precisely is wrong with Merson. Carbone! Wasn't much wrong with that. Save for a yard or so in terms of direction. We can take it that he feels up to the challenge today. There's a new contract in the offing. And Villa are becoming increasingly hopeful that he'll sign it. John Gregory's explanation for the substitution of Merson is purely that it has happened for tactical reasons, which seems surprising given his role in the second goal. Here's Barmby. Campbell waiting for the cross. Way by Boateng. Weir. Campbell! Well, it hasn't been an afternoon when he's had too many chances, Kevin Campbell. It didn't seem likely that Gareth Southgate would afford him that one, but he lost him. Paul Merson has now appeared on the bench. We are told that he's not injured, but John Gregory did spend the first couple of minutes of the second half deep in conversation with him in the Villa dressing room. Right. Boateng. Free kick has been given. And then for the descent that was subsequently shown, Carbone goes into the book. Difficult to hear anything on a mobile phone in this stadium on this of all days. Chewing gum, cup of tea. There's a nervous manager. Hutchison, nicely on for Barmby. Jeffers and Campbell both by the penalty spot. There's Jeffers. He will feel he has a point to prove, having been left out. Barmby. And behind by Delaney. This is one of Everton's better spells. A move neat in its construction has ended in this corner. In by Hutchison. Ehio. Unsworth. Anxious Evertonians around this stadium. Frowns and grimaces. Cadamarteri. Can be such an effervescent presence. Barmby. Just as well that Ehio was in the way because Campbell was poised behind him. Noise level rising around Goodison. Taken by Barmby. David Weir. Clean header, clear header, straight at the keeper. And had it gone over the keeper, there were two defenders waiting on the line. Carbone, trying to dink it around Weir. Instead he's found Taylor. Carbone's onside! What a good save by Mura. Everton are wondering where the offside flag went to. Carbone is wondering why he didn't actually manage to win the tie there and then. We have to atone somewhat for Mura's error with the first goal. Not totally. Carbone. Stone. Oh, he's away from Hutchison and Barmby. Not Collins. Cadamarteri trod on the ball. Goff. Cadamarteri. Carbone. One more goal for Villa would surely settle this. Aston Villa supporters thinking about a first FA Cup skirmish at Wembley for 43 years. Right slipped. Cadamarteri. Weir. Barry. Hutchison. Moore. Cadamarteri. 5 inside the penalty area for Everton. And Goff somehow kept out from Richard Goff. Enkelman plunged to his right. Not sure that the uprights may not have played a part as well. And away by Alan Wright. Six weeks short of his 38th birthday, it was purely the post that denied Richard Gough. Hutchison. There's barely a minute of the regulation 90 remaining. Everyone being waved forward by Everton. And Carbone surely was in the way of the free kick, and he's already been booked. And Benito Carbone, in the 90th minute, is sent off for the most stupid of offences. He ran directly in front of the ball as Unsworth was trying to take the free kick. Villa have to defend with only 10. Yet another twist to a stirring cup tie. Over the head of Gough. Now, can the 10 remaining men break forward? Delaney. Delaney. Oh, clearly clipped by Weir. Carbone, I don't think, can believe his own stupidity. Alone with his thoughts in the tunnel. Stone. Have Villa done enough now? I'll be quite happy with the ball in that corner. Down that end generally. And that is enough. Aston Villa are through to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. For only the second time in 40 years. Steve Stone, an influential figure, with the opening goal. Joe Maxmore equalising in the first half for Everton. And then Benito Carbone scoring what turned out to be the winner after sterling work by Paul Merson, who was then strangely substituted. Carbone sent off on the dot of 90 minutes. For a silly offence, a second bookable offence. He will be available when the semi-final comes round. Aston Villa, who've not been to Wembley in the FA Cup since the final of 1957, will return there in this season's semi-final. Full-time at Goodison, the end of the road for the home side. Everton 1, Aston Villa 2. Last time you came here, if I believe the papers, you were on the verge of getting the sack.
Yeah, it was very close.
And now?
I got the guitar out and I was getting ready to go busking.
Now you're getting ready to go to Wembley?
Well, we're getting ready to go to Wembley, but it's only a semi-final. You know, as I said, but I don't think we should get too carried away. We've got to a semi-final and it will mean nothing unless we win it. We've been to one semi-final this season when we choked and didn't play well. We need to make sure that when we go to Wembley that we get the right result.
Bad goal, the first one for us from a set piece. We've not been guilty of that this season. We've been defending reasonably well at our set pieces against us.
Was it also the goalkeeper for the first goal?
Well, you know, I've not had a chance to see it again. It looked an awkward one. It bounced just in front of him, so I don't know whether his view was obscured from whatever. But we lost. That was a bad one for us to lose it.
Steve, I looked in one of my very boring books, and it said before today's game that you'd never scored in the FA Cup, and I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it, to be honest, either. No, I probably scored about 30 goals in my career, and surprisingly, none of them being the FA Cup. Obviously, not a big-time performer.
What does a manager think when his star striker or one of them gets booked for kicking the ball away, then does what Carbone did and gets himself sent off?
I felt that Dermot reacted in the way that the referees were reacting in the first quarter of the season, when they were just reaching for their top pocket before they even engaged their brain. And I honestly think that had Dermot waited 5 seconds and just thought, totally innocuous challenge. He's Benny himself has not made contact with the ball. David Unsworth has put the ball exactly where he wanted it to go, and Benny's just encroached at a free kick. I can't really see there being a problem with that, and I think Dermot reacted to the crowd jumping out of their seats, and he went straight for the top pocket. He didn't even engage his brain. So I was disappointed in his reaction in that situation. I didn't think it warranted a booking whatsoever.
Despite taking you off, the manager has already stated publicly that you will start at Bradford next week, so at least that's okay.
For 25 minutes, though, he said. No, it's been...